96.1 FM, moving Lagos forward.
Hello and good evening. Here is the news at 6. First, the highlights. Lagos State Government reviews education laws, policy to reflect current realities. Minister holds closed-door meeting with aviation unions over ongoing strike. On the foreign scene, Ukrainian president aborts official visit to South Africa following deadly missile strike on Kiev. And in sports, Nigeria's Taiwo Mati's singles campaign at World Table Tennis contender ends in defeat. And now the details. I am Akan Usen. The Lagos State Government has reviewed the existing education law and year 2018 policy on education to reflect current realities in the sector in line with global best practice. Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Tolani Ali Balogun, who stated this at the ongoing ministerial press briefing to highlight the activities and achievements of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration in the second year of his second term in office, said 17 new schools were also established across the 5 divisions of the state. Ali Balogun noted that the Office of Education Quality Assurance has been charged to be more effective in discharging its statutory responsibilities and forward uncolored reports of cases of truancy, sexual molestation, absenteeism, negligence to duty, and all untoward conducts on the part of teachers who will face the full wrath of extant laws.
Now that we are not aware of inadequacies of furniture in some schools, we are making great efforts in making sure that those furnitures are available. One thing is we have lost maintenance culture. Each principal of the school is being given 250,000 each month to carry out smaller things such as furniture repairs and the rest. So we expected that also from the school system to augment what the state is doing, but we provide that where we don't have none.
The commissioner said in the year under review, the innovative Eco-STEAM program was launched to foster interest in and skills development in science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics among students, while through the Special Committee on Rehabilitation of Schools has so far rehabilitated 386 schools. Ali Balogun stated that the Sanwo-Olu administration also paid over 1.5 billion naira as year 2024 WAEC fees of SS3 students across public secondary schools in the state. According to him, the Eco Learners Support Initiative has also been designed to broadcast a head start of 320 lessons in 10 different subjects: English, mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, economics, government, history, literature in English, and Yoruba on Lagos television and other social media platforms, with proficient teachers who were painstakingly recruited through a thorough and rigorous screening process. Our correspondent Adiola Akindele quotes the commissioner as saying that the state government participated in various education competitions across the country, including the year 2024 edition of the 774 Young Nigerian Scientist Presidential Award, Junior Engineers, Technicians and Scientists, JETS, World Robotics Competitions, among others. In the same vein, the Lagos State government has pledged commitment to elevating its state-owned tertiary institutions to global standards, providing students with world-class education and a brighter future. Commissioner for Tertiary Education Tolani Sule, who made this known at the ongoing ministerial press briefing at Alausa Ikeja, said this unwavering commitment is to enhance learning processes and create conducive environment for academic excellence in all tertiary institutions, leveraging technology and innovation. These institutions are the Lagos State University, Ojo, Lagos State College of Health Technology, Yaba, Lagos State University of Science and Technology, Ikorodu, Lagos State University of Education, Laswed, Lagos State College of Nursing, Lagos State University College of Medicine, among others. Suli also announced the registration of 62 private institutions to complement efforts at enhancing quality of education in the state.
We are committed to transforming state-owned tertiary institutions into global standards as we invite all stakeholders to join in this noble endeavor. Together, we can build a brighter future for our students and the state.
The commissioner, who hinted that the Sanwo-Olu administration, through the ministry, has harmonized the disparities in salary structure of state-owned universities, also noted that this year 30 public secondary schools have benefited from the state's library rehabilitation and intervention projects. Our correspondent Adeola Kindele reports that the Lagos State University, as part of its developmental strides and achievements, ranked as the best state university in 2024, second best public university in Nigeria, best university for actualization of sustainable development goals in ECOWAS Youth Summit 2024, among others. Lagos State government has again condemned the action of legal practitioners who parade themselves as agents and obtain agency fees on behalf of property owners from clients and persons who rent different types of properties. This assertion was made by the special advisor to the Lagos State governor on housing, Barakat Odunuga Bakari, at the stakeholders' engagement with practitioners in the built industry. The special advisor emphasized that the role of legal practitioners is to prepare contractual agreement between a property owner and a prospective client, which covers a specific period and for an agreed amount. She emphasized that the collection of agency fees falls only within the purview of commission agents and not lawyers. Odunuga Bakari stated that henceforth, lawyers who indulge in usurping the role of commission agents will be sanctioned through the Nigerian Bar Association. She re-emphasized the commitment of the Lagos State government to restore sanity in the built sector. Odunuga Bakari also warned quacks and unregistered individuals who charge arbitrary fees from tenants and unsuspecting persons to desist from doing so. The Lagos State House of Assembly has summoned the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission (LASIEC) to clarify the guidelines for the upcoming local government elections scheduled for July 2025. The motion was moved by Chairman, House Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, Public Petitions and LASIEC, Rotimi Ajomale. Ajomale stressed the need for LASIEC officials to brief the House on their level of preparedness for the elections. Supporting the motion, other lawmakers in their contributions expressed concern that the Commission has not yet briefed the House, emphasizing the urgency of summoning them. They noted that the opposition parties have raised complaints and that it is important for LASIEC to address this concern by explaining the guidelines. In his remarks, Speaker of the House, Mudashiru Obasa, agreed that LASIEC must appear before the House to present their preparations and ensure transparency in the electoral process. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, has assured investors that Nigeria remains a safe destination for investment. Edun gave the assurance at the Nigeria Investment Forum during the World Bank IMF meetings in Washington, D.C. The minister said the administration was intensifying efforts to diversify and stabilize the economy. Edun said President Bola Tinubu's administration has implemented foundational reforms that are already producing positive results, with the Nigerian economy showing signs of growth. He noted that macroeconomic stability is gradually returning, as seen in the narrowing budget deficits, an improved trade balance, and a stabilizing exchange rate. And now to the rest of the stories. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Keyamo is currently locked in a high-level closed-door meeting with leadership of key aviation unions, the permanent secretary, and heads of aviation agencies in a bid to end the ongoing strike that has crippled operations in the aviation sector. The emergency talks come in response to a nationwide industrial action that has disrupted airport operations, flight schedules, and other aviation services, leaving thousands of travelers stranded. Keyamo, who convened the meeting at short notice, has assured all parties of the federal government's commitment to resolving the issues raised by the unions. The ongoing strike has already entered its second day, with ripple effects felt across major airports in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and Kano. Industry stakeholders have called for a swift resolution to prevent further disruptions to domestic and international travel. The Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board, FGSHLB, says it has commenced the compilation of lists of retired civil servants who have defaulted on the full repayment of housing loans obtained. Executive Secretary of the Board, Salamatu Ahmed, said the move was aimed at recovering mortgaged properties from retirees who failed to meet their loan obligations. Ahmed noted that the decision followed a recent memo issued by the Permanent Secretary, Career Management Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, Patience Oyekunle. According to her, the memo reminded public servants of the mandatory requirement to obtain a certificate of non-indebtedness to the FGSHLB and MDA Staff Multipurpose Cooperative Society as a precondition for retirement. Ahmed explained that the FGSHLB reserves the legal right to repossess any mortgaged property in cases where a public servant exits service without fully repaying the loan. And now to foreign news. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has abruptly shortened his official visit to South Africa following a deadly Russian missile and drone strike on Kiev that killed at least 8 people and left dozens injured. According to military officials, the attack, one of the deadliest on the Ukrainian capital in recent months, saw Russia launch more than 200 missiles and drones overnight, with over 100 intercepted by Ukrainian air defenses. Despite Kiev's relatively robust air defense systems, 13 locations across the city suffered significant damage, including residential areas. Interior Minister Igor Klimenko reported that more than 70 people were injured in the strike, and rescue efforts were ongoing as emergency services combed through the debris. The assault came just hours after United States President Donald Trump criticized Zelensky for refusing to accept Russia's annexation of Crimea as part of a peace agreement. Trump, who has been pushing for an immediate ceasefire, accused the Ukrainian leader of prolonging the conflict, which began with Russia's full-scale invasion in 2022. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin is yet to respond to a recent Ukrainian proposal to halt attacks on civilian targets. In our sports, Nigeria's Taiwo Mati's singles campaign at the 2025 World Table Tennis contender Tunis ended in disappointment after a straight sets defeat to India's Snehit Suravajula at the Saleh Omnisport de Radis. The Nigerian fell 3-0 in his second and final group match at Suravajula, as Suravajula imposed his authority early and never relented in the Group 10 encounter. Mati lost 3-1 to Malta's Kim Tae-yoon in his opener and needed a win to stand any chance of reaching the knockout rounds, but world number 97 Suravajula controlled proceedings from start to finish. The Indian won a total of 33 points to Mati's 18, asserting dominance both on his serve and return. WTT contender Tunis continues with $100,000 in total prize money and important world ranking points still to be contested in both singles and doubles events. And that's all for the news at 6. Use the walkway where available to avoid incidents. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms on X at Traffic Radio 961. Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. On YouTube, subscribe and watch us live on our channel Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration initiated 500 hectares rice farm technology intervention project? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Government has reviewed the existing education laws and year 2018 policy on education to reflect current realities in the sector in line with global best practices. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Keyamo is currently locked in a high-level closed-door meeting with the leadership of key aviation unions, the permanent secretary, and heads of aviation agencies in a bid to end the ongoing strike that has crippled operations in the aviation sector. We also told you that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has abruptly shortened his official visit to South Africa following a deadly Russian missile and drone strike on Kiev that killed at least 8 people and left dozens injured. And in sports, Nigeria's Taiwo Mati's singles campaign at the 2025 World Table Tennis contender Tunis ended in disappointment after a straight sets defeat to India's Snehit Suravajula at the Saleh Omnisport de Radis. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Adeswa Ejoyoka. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening and please stay safe. Good evening.